privilege to be the first person to say congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. And to do that, I want to take another couple with your permission. They decided that on their wedding anniversary every year, they would dress up in their wedding clothes and have a photograph. We first see them at their first wedding anniversary. And she knows something he doesn't know, because it's been confirmed she's expecting their first child. She hasn't had a chance to tell him yet. And he comes rushing in, and she still hasn't had a chance to tell him when the photographer arrives and starts to take a picture. And they're stood there, and the picture just won't go right. Until she leans across and says to him, do you remember we promised we would love one another? For better, for worse. And as she said better, the flashgun went off and caught that look between them. When I go forward several years, things aren't quite as good. They're sadly both unemployed now, they've got 3 children, and it's a next door neighbour that's coming in to take a photograph. She doesn't really know how a camera works. And she's fussing about with the camera, and they're stood there, and it won't go right. And he looks across the floor and sees his daughter's broken doll on the floor. And he doesn't know where they're going to find the money to buy their daughter the present that they want to buy them for her birthday. And it won't go right till he whispers to her, do you remember we promised we would love one another? For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. And as he said poorer, the flashgun went off and caught that look between them. We now fast forward several years. Their children are now teenagers, and anybody with teenage children knows what that means. And they're really worried about their eldest daughter. They've got good jobs now, so money's not a problem. But he seems to be at work more than he's at home. It's almost as though he'd rather be at work than he would be at home. And she gets dressed up in the wedding dress, and she's waiting, and he's late. He's always late. And he comes in that foul mood that only men can get. And storms through the door and says, it's all nonsense this, I'm not getting dressed up this year. But she's the practical one. She says the photographer's in the front room and he's paid for. So get dressed and we'll just waste the money. And so he gets reluctantly into his suit and they stand there and the photographer takes over. And you know all about this morning. Stand like this, look up, look down, this way, that way. And it won't go right. So she whispers, do you remember we promised we would love one another? For better, for worse. And as she said worse, the flashgun went off and caught that look between them. We now fast forward to their 57th wedding anniversary. Not their 60th, because she's now crippled with arthritis and he's had several heart attacks. And it's their granddaughter that's getting the fading yellow wedding dress out of the And as they get it out, the granddaughter says, Granny, didn't you have a tiny waist all those years ago? And she struggles into the wedding dress. I'm told from this morning it's with spandex. That's the secret. She struggles into this wedding dress. And then it's Grandad's turn. Well, the trousers just aren't going to do well. And he says, doesn't matter, Pet. We'll just take the top half and no one will know any different. So they sit there, the granddaughter starts to take the photo. She says, Granny, Grandad, I forgot to charge the battery on the camera, I'll forget the other one. Just hang on a minute. But they don't hear her. Because they're too busy saying, do you remember we promised we would love one another? For better, for worse. For richer, for poorer. In sickness and in health. Till death. My prayers for you today, and every day, because I remember my wedding couples every day in my prayers, is you will strive to keep those promises. When he's led out with boys, remember how you feel now. Remember what really matters. When she buys another pair of shoes. Yeah, understand. It's, you know, it's one of those moments you really think, remember how you feel now. Remember what matters and the work you're able to strive for.